while I was on a cruise. I felt my first cramp in my stomach. I wasn't able to walk. I was waddling everywhere on the cruise. I went to the doctors a few times and they passed it off. I went to another doctor, the third doctor. Finally, they were able to run the correct tests, and it turns out I had a mass, a 28-inch mass, 15 pounds. So the size of two twins, I would say. Sorry, not two twins, a set of twins. So that's how heavy it was.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from, in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, we bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We do appreciate it. Irene, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. I got to meet you at our event. What was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, right? And we connected there, and then you won the grand prize.
I did. So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. So I want to get into your world and what that all looks like. But before that, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring these delicious pastries every week for our guests. If you haven't already, go check them out in the city of San Gabriel, Las Tunas, and Mission, I believe. And say hi to Jason for us. Imagine navigating the uncharted waters of a global pandemic only to find yourself facing an even more personal battle. This individual transformed adversity into advocacy, turning a cancer diagnosis into a platform for change. With roots deeply embedded in the rich tapestry of the San Gabriel Valley's culinary scene, she seamlessly blends her love for food, beauty, and adventure into captivating content. Her journey from corporate life to becoming a beacon of inspiration on TikTok and Instagram is a testament to resilience and passion. Please welcome Irene, known to many as Irene Weenie.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So can we start with that name? Where does that name come from?
From high school.
Okay.
Yeah, they would just call me Irene Weenie throughout. Like, I would walk down the hallways, hey, Irene Weenie. And so I just kept it. When I started posting my food videos, I was debating on whether to change my name to like a more professional name, but I just kept with it and people love it.
It sounds like it wasn't like a derogatory thing. It was like more of a fun friendship type thing.
It was fun friendship. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And what is your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
So growing up, I grew up in Downey. However, every single weekend, all of my parents' friends they live in Monterey Park. So we would go out and have lunch in the area and then hang out at their house afterwards. And then sometimes we'll grab dinner back out here in Monterey Park or Montebello. So we're always out in the SGV area every weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people actually are like, that's how they experience the SGV, right? Mm-hmm. If they lived on the outskirts. Downey is by like Pico Rivera.
Right. It's the next city over.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Just a little, like 10 minutes.
We'll let it slide. It's like on the outskirts.
Yes, I'm part of SGV too.
So, I want to go into your origin story, but what restaurants do you remember going to in Monterey Park?
Kim Tar, Lou's Garden. Those would be like the main ones that we would go to. And then as we got older, Delicious started coming up. So we go there now. And then we've just like expanded from there.
Let's go back even earlier than that. What was life like growing up for you in Downey?
I would say it wasn't as diverse as in Asian food as it is out here. So, when I would grow up, like, for example, actually my item of significance is boba, because back in the day, boba wasn't a thing. People would be like, oh, what are those sticky boba balls? Like, it wasn't good. But now that it has evolved and boba culture is now more prominent, everyone knows what boba is, and that's how I feel like I am able to expand the knowledge of different foods and cuisines to even Downey, people who live in Downey.
When you were little and you went to restaurants as a child, Were you ordering off the kids menu, or was it always like family style? You ate what the adults ate?
Right. Never kids menu. It was always what my family ordered. It was always family style. And even nowadays when I go out to eat with my friends, I kind of suggest if they want family style, because it's to me it's the best way to eat. You get to try different things off of everyone's plate, and then it's just more fun that way.
It's so strange for me to call it family style because it's just like normal style.
For us. Yes.
I mentioned the child's menu thing because every time my wife and I go and we look at that, it's so sad. It's so sad. Like chicken fingers, hot dog, fries,
mac and cheese.
And I'm like, that's so awful. Like not only like it's so bland. Anyway.
Our niece now, she's 4. We don't order off of the kids menu. She eats what we eat as well. So she'll grow up like how I grew up.
So what are some of your memories around food, like at that time when you were growing up?
We were always eating either Chinese or Thai food at the time. And so that was a lot of our food. But then when high school and college hit, I was able to explore more cuisines like Vietnamese cuisine or other Asian foods. So growing up, it was mostly Thai and Chinese.
Thai and Chinese, like Cantonese.
Yeah.
Cantonese. Okay. But Downey is primarily Latino, right? Did you grow up eating that, or you just avoided that in that area?
No, I that was normal food for us as well. It's just that when we would eat Asian food, we would always come out here no matter what.
Okay.
It's either here or Thai Town in Hollywood.
Ethnically, you're Thai.
Yes.
Right? And you were born here.
Yeah.
What are some of the cultural celebrations around food? Because I had Thai friends growing up, but that was never a question that I asked, Are there these sorts of things?
Well, we celebrate Thai New Year, Songkran. It's actually next month. They have a celebration in Thai Town in Hollywood where a whole bunch of Thai restaurants or Thai vendors will come out. There's going to be Muay Thai. There will be a pageant show, and then a bunch of Thai culture. You can like pretend to get married the Thai traditional way there.
What's the Thai traditional way?
You kind of kneel on this platform, put your hand in prayer position, and then you're connected by some flowers. And so they'll show you what it would look like if you were to get married the Thai way.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, remind me, I want to ask you about your Thai recommendations.
Sure.
Because I'm not sure like I had great Thai food. I don't know. I like it, but I don't know like the range. Right?
Okay.
I can tell you for sure in other styles of food, but Thai I'm not so sure. You grew up in Downey, you're coming to the SGV with your family and celebrating that stuff. Where you said in college you started to experience other foods.
Right.
Was it your college friends going out and taking you places, or how did that come about?
I think it was mostly me. Like I wanted to try different things besides just Chinese and Thai food. So then I started venturing out like, a new torta spot, a new, let's try this new burrito or a new pho spot. So that's when I started venturing out. And then I would have like new friends too. So that would show me different areas. So I had a Vietnamese friend who would show me a lot of Westminster area. So we would try out the restaurants out there.
Okay,
how fall in love.
How does that compare to the SGV Vietnam food?
I go out there for Vietnamese food. So here it's still like mostly like Chinese food, but I still like all different types.
A lot of people would agree too. But
yeah.
Okay. Did you have an eye for being a creator at that time? Were you capturing your meals? Like what was happening there?
I've always taken photos of the food that I eat, and I'll post it on a story or Instagram.
Oh, so you're already doing Instagram at that time?
Yes, but it was just mostly for fun. It was just like, this looks really nice. I'm going to take a photo, and then that's it. I'll post it maybe. And then, but later on, it was more serious.
So in college, you were experiencing new friend groups, new food. And then you went into some corporate work. I remember it was like with a fitness company.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I have my bachelor's in kinesiology. So I was working with a corporate fitness firm for about 8 years. And then when the pandemic hit, luckily I still had a job for 2 years. And then in 2022, that's when I lost my job. And so I would say when TikToks became more popular in around 2020, 2021, that's when I started dabbling with video content. And then once I lost my job, I was fully learning how to use TikTok, editing videos, putting clips together, etc.
When we first spoke, one of the stories of like your journey you had shared with me was this, personal event that you had gone through and overcome. And that was sort of part of your TikTok and social media story as well.
Right.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So right when I lost my job, well, beforehand, I had posted a few TikTok videos on food, and one of them went viral, and I was like, okay, this is fun. Like, I'll show my boss at the time, and they kind of just brushed it off because it is corporate world. It's always business, business, business. So right after I lost my job, I was able to start posting more seriously about food content. And then 2 months after, while I was on a cruise, I felt my first cramp in my stomach. And it wasn't just a regular cramp. I wasn't able to walk. I was waddling everywhere on the cruise. And so it was kind of like the first episodes that I felt this pain. I went to the doctors a few times, and they passed it off as like gas or being obese. And I was like, for sure, it's not gas. I'm not gassy. And I went to another doctor, the third doctor now. And finally, they were able to run the correct tests. And it turns out I had a mass in my ovaries. And so I had surgery to take it out, to remove it. It ended up being a 28-inch mass, 15 pounds. So the size of two twins, I would say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Or not two twins, a set of twins. So that's how heavy it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you for getting another, a third
Opinion.
diagnosis.
Right.
That's awful that they dismissed it like that.
Mm-hmm. So I think through the process of trying to find another doctor or a doctor that would take me more seriously, I wanted to make sure that a lot of other women aren't going through this, to advocate for their pain, because a lot of women pain in their body just gets like misdiagnosed, or they think it's hormonal, or it can get passed as many other things. And then even throughout the time where I wasn't sure what I had, I would Google my symptoms, and ovarian cancer never came up. I never thought I was going to have ovarian cancer until they removed the mass, and then they were able to test it.
That must have felt really awful to know that something's not right, and someone to tell you like it's basically nothing.
Right. And even through the process, I would cut out certain foods. One of them is actually boba, because I was like, oh my gosh, what if I'm lactose all of a sudden, and it's because of boba that I have this pain. So it was also playing mind games, like, what if it's this, what if it's that? And so now actually September is the month of ovarian cancer awareness, and so I post usually in September now about ovarian cancer, and it opens up discussion to a lot of women throughout the world about pains that they feel.
What was it like for you, your internal thought life or emotions when you received the diagnosis?
I wasn't expecting it. So I was laying in bed, and I was like, it's in my ovary, like my reproductive system. And she was like, yes, your ovaries, it's in your reproductive system. And then I remember the next question I asked was like, will I be able to have a kid after this? And then the doctor at the time just said, like, it depends. During the surgery, that's when they're able to see if both ovaries are affected or just one. And so the last question before you go into surgery, the last question that they ask before you go into surgery is whether you want to take out one ovary or both ovaries. So I had up to surgery time to decide whether it's like, is it my life, or like, do I risk it and be able to have a kid later on in life? Do I take both of it out now? And so my decision was to keep the ovary that is not affected, and then just take out the one that is. Yeah.
Wow.
So right now I have one ovary left.
So you can still have a child?
I can. Yes.
Wow, that must have been tough.
Mm-hmm. And even right after their surgery, they had said, well, there's an 85% chance that ovary a mass will come back within 5 years, within the right ovary, the one that is still there. And so I've had these last 5 years, like, thinking every day, like, oh, am I gonna have a baby? What should I do? Especially because I don't have a significant other. So it's always like stressful for me.
I think doctors should receive some sort of training on like saying something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't count the number of stories I've heard where they've said something and the person's like, yeah, 20 years later, you told me I was going to, not have 6 months, or they said I would never walk again. And here I am walking. I'm like, the power of their words to either bring hope or bring, something else is so huge.
Right. So actually the doctor that I had who removed my ovary and I had for about 4 years, he was the one that said after 5 years, which is when I turned 35, I should remove my right ovary. And so I think about it every day. I'm like, what do I do? Do I remove it at 35, which is next year for me? Or in 2 years? Or do I just keep risking my life and just keep living on and getting checked? And so I decided to switch my doctors one more time to a female doctor. And she said, actually, after the 5-year mark of your increased chances, your chances of getting ovarian cancer again goes down. And so that's when...
What?
I know. And so I lived like 3 years stressed because I was wondering, like, I need to take this out soon. What am I going to do? Right? So I just switched my doctors about 2 months ago. That's when I found out the good news that I can keep it in and then just keep monitoring it every 6 months.
Good for you. Good for you. I want to say this. I don't know if I've ever said this on the show before, but we as a society assign some level of moral high ground to professionals, doctors, lawyers, whatever it is. Like automatically you think with that title comes like that they're going to be ethically pure. And I'm like, dude, there are bad people in every profession. And that includes doctors. Like I've heard a lot of doctors like really pressure and try to scare their patients into doing something that just also so happens to make them money. And I'm like, this is not good.
Right. Like imagine in 2 years I had to remove an ovary that I didn't have to remove.
But you've also experienced 3 years of worry.
Yeah.
That's
stress.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, well, good for you. I mean, you advocated for yourself on multiple occasions and you didn't just accept that's not a quality that a lot of people have.
Yeah. Just because like the mass grew so fast, like I was able to really feel everything. But imagine people who have had this mass like in their ovaries for years and go through the pain, but like the doctor's not wanting to order tests because they don't feel anything. That was the only reason why I was able to get like an emergency to see a doctor, like an emergency doctor to schedule me a surgery, was because they can actually feel the mass. But there are people who you won't feel the mass. The mass will be smaller. And so I can't imagine all the women who go through this without getting a real diagnosis, like in the right time.
What's your advice to them if someone's, experiencing some discomfort or if a doctor has dismissed it? Like, what do you want to say to them?
To keep going back. If your doctor is not doing anything about it, go to the emergency care. They'll have to order CT scans or MRIs to figure out what's going on. But I think with emergency care, they have to figure out the solution that day. Versus with the doctor, they're going to keep passing you along like, oh, maybe it's a GI issue. Maybe it's hormonal. We'll send you to this doctor. And it's going to be a longer process. But with me, it was from March to September. That's when my mass grew from pretty much nothing to 28 centimeters, like a basketball.
Have they said anything about how that came about? Like,
no.
That seems very rapid.
Yeah. So now I actually asked for genetic testing. You can ask for that if you have cancer or have had cancer in the past. And she just said it was random. There was no family history of it. And I just got it randomly.
And so now what is life like after the surgery, like for you physically and mentally? Like, I know you were stressed about the baby thing, but has your body recovered from that? I don't imagine that's an easy surgery. I mean, no surgery is easy. But.
So because my mass was 28 inches, they couldn't do a microscopic one where it's just 3 little holes. They had to cut vertically down my abdomen. So now I have like a 13-inch scar down my stomach.
Wow.
And then recovery, they said about 3 to 4 months to fully do everything. You're not allowed to lift anything heavy over 10 pounds within the first few weeks. But I think my recovery went by pretty fast. they said if you walked a lot, you were able to recover faster. So immediately that day that I came out of surgery, I started walking right away. And then even then I was allergic to pain meds. So if you don't take pain meds, you'll also heal faster. So I didn't take any pain meds after surgery, besides like Tylenol. But the heavy stuff I said no to. So I think that helped me heal faster in a way.
You're such a strong soul, you know? Those are tough things to overcome.
Right. And it was during COVID too, so it's not like I could have people in the waiting room next to me the whole time. They said, "Are you ready for surgery?" I said, "Let's get it done. Let's go."
And no one there to even like literally hold your hand.
No.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying like learning this part of you. And for whoever's listening to this too, right? Like you're so much more than someone posting food content, of course. So were you sharing these things on social at the time?
So at that time, I was already posting food content a little bit. And so I said, might as well have our followers, our audience, see what I'm going through at the moment. Because you can also tell in the food videos that I had been getting smaller and smaller just because with ovarian cancer, you have a loss of appetite. So I actually lost 60 pounds before I got the surgery because I wasn't eating. And so I was like, I might as well tell the audience what I'm actually going through. And so I started posting like funny content on ovarian cancer.
Funny content,
yeah.
Can you give me what's funny content on that?
It's like, I wish I can show you.
Like, are you doing a skit or are you doing a voiceover?
Like funny skits, or like there was this viral sound that went viral sound back in the day that said, "Oh no, no, no."
Yeah.
And it was a video of me going into the doctor's office and then seeing my mass in the x-ray room, and it's the sound going, "Oh no, no, no." And so people are like, they go crazy over that. They're like, "Wait, why are you posting this?" Like, it's funny, but it's like also it brings awareness to what ovarian cancer is like, you know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. So another layer to you is there's creativity there, but there's also this strength in like being able to laugh at a situation.
Well, I would say majority of the videos regarding ovarian cancer were more on the funny side. And then if I had to address certain questions like, well, what are the signs and symptoms? Then I'll do it in a more serious way.
Well, what a journey. What a journey.
Yeah.
And what was the response on social media to you sharing that part of your journey?
It brought in a lot of women, and I think people were able to relate because ovarian cancer isn't something that people talk about on the daily. Yes, people talk about like endometriosis or PCOS. That's what we see like in the commercials, but no one ever talks about ovarian cancer. So once I feel like I was able to bring that into my video content, there were so many women who messaged me every day about like, "Oh, my mom went through this. Oh, I'm going through this. No one ever talks about it. Like, I'm so glad I'm able to relate to you or talk to you about it," because literally you can't find anything online about ovarian cancer. And that's why when I had all of my signs and symptoms, I would try to Google it, but nothing came up.
Learning so much about you here. Irene, we ask each guest to bring an item with them. What did you bring with you today?
I brought boba for us to share.
Can you show it to here?
Yes.
All right. I'm ready for the boba. Not now, but after the show.
Yes.
So where is this
boba?
from? Yeah.
This is from 7 Leaves.
Okay.
Yes.
And what's the significance of the boba? I think I sort of already know, but if you could share again.
So back in the day, since I did grow up in Downey, Asian food wasn't very popular. I would drink boba and people would be like, "Oh, what's that black sticky ball?" Like, I'll try it, and then they'll try and be like, "Oh, it's chewy. I don't like it." And fast forward now, we have 7 Leaves. They have a whole drive-through now, open at 6 a.m.
What?
Yes.
Drive-through boba.
Drive-through boba.
Wow.
I feel like it's become more popular now. Well, definitely. Everyone knows what boba is, and all of the new types, the jellies, the popping boba. But what I have to share with this is that it's the same thing as what I'm doing today. I'm going to different type of restaurants that I would never try before and showing the world what they're missing out on, pretty much. There's people didn't know what shabu was for a long time, and then like when you post about it, people start seeing these videos about shabu. They're curious, like, "Oh, I want to try shabu," and now I go to shabu and now there's a wait time. So I think it's awesome. Also, boba always brings people together. I feel like every time I need to hang out with my adult friends, you know, it's hard to meet up with people now. So it's like, okay, boba's you're down, and then we just meet up. So it plays like a huge role in our life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the perfect finisher to a great meal too, right? Like you're stuffed or whatever, but like everybody still wants to get something.
Exactly. Like, oh, you want boba? Sure, let's go. That's the perfect dessert.
Right? Like awesome. Thanks for bringing that. And I can't wait to have some.
You're welcome.
I shared this story actually yesterday, not on the podcast, or was it yesterday? And it sort of relates to the whole food influencer thing. Okay. A friend of mine invited me to a lecture at the Norton Simon Museum on 15th, 16th century art in Italy.
Okay.
I was like, yeah.
15th, 16th century.
Not my thing at all. Like it didn't interest me at all. You know, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go because you invited me. So I go and it's like warm and dark. I'm like, I'm totally going to fall asleep in here, right? The speaker was a professor from Cal State Long Beach, and she was so passionate. Like she just was like oozing it. Like I couldn't help but like just, pay attention. But the amazing thing was she was talking about the world's first travel book, 15th, 16th century. And she says at that time, if you wanted someone to record, like you had to have a scribe, and that was expensive. But if you wanted to have someone paint to capture it, you didn't have a camera, that was even more expensive. So this was a very wealthy person who was traveling around that time, right? And created this first, what's known as like the first travel book. And in it, what it said was, eat at this restaurant. This is what you should get here. It's really good. It's this distance from this town. Travel, the roads are like okay to travel. You don't eat at this restaurant because, and I was like, that's just like Yelp. That's just
our Yelp now.
And I was like, but this is like 600 years before. And what I got I never expected to get this from there. I was like, people don't change, People want information and then they want to share information at a very, very basic level, right? And that's always going to be there.
Yeah, you'll always want to share your favorites, what you liked and what you don't like, no matter what.
Yes, and people are going to want to consume that. Yeah.
It's really easy. Content now. Yeah.
Well, Irene, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to get more into like your journey from there and what you're doing now. So we'll be right back.
Sometimes even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh,
their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Irene. What flavors are those that you brought?
I brought 1 herbal tea, 2 house coffees, and then 1 oolong milk tea.
Ooh, okay, awesome. Not just the standard milk tea.
No, I brought a little bit of everything.
Awesome. Well, before we get into your story some more, when we come back from the break, we like to ask questions from this deck of cards called Icebreakers. Okay. And they're just like a fun way for the audience to get to know us a little bit better. And I'll answer too. What is one family tradition you would like to carry on in the future?
I would say Chinese New Year's.
Okay.
I think it's a great way of honoring our ancestors, and passing that down from generation to generation will be very special to me. We do that in our family, and then I know my 2 sisters have moved out of the house now, and they do their own version, so I would like to pass that down to the next generation as well.
What does that Chinese New Year look like for you? Is it like around food and family just coming together in one household?
Yeah, exactly. So at 4 a.m. in the morning, we'll bring out a huge table filled with food, noodles for long life, duck, chicken, and then 1 table is for our ancestors, and we'll have other tables for the Buddhists.
Awesome. I don't know if there's one thing I particularly like, and I don't think that this will go on forever, is my kids like to go Christmas lights cruising. Like we drive around and look at, and it's a lot of fun. We're all packed in the car. We get like a hot drink and, and we spend, maybe an hour or so. And I really love that as a kid. It's fun to see my kids enjoy that. When they're little, it's more magical, but I think it's still magical for me. Maybe it doesn't make so much sense to you because when I'm in Canada usually for Christmas. So against the snow, the lights are much different, than here.
Yeah.
They're much more magical. And then there's a lot of like huge pine trees that get decorated too in the snow. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome. We actually do that too, but we go down to Naples Island in Long Beach. Have you been?
I haven't.
Oh, it's these houses, $1 million houses on the water in a canal, and they're all decorated.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful there too, because then you see like the reflection of the water and the lights. It's really pretty.
Is there like, is it a company that does trips that go down there, or are you in your own boat?
No, you can rent a boat, so you can go on water to see the lights.
Or you're walking.
But you can also walk.
Oh.
Yeah, walk the area. It's like walking a neighborhood.
Oh.
And it's gorgeous. Every house has like a different theme. It's really pretty.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You should take your family there.
Yeah.
One of those.
Have you ever
Christmases.
done the Newport Harbor like Christmas boat thing? I've seen it on pictures, but I've never been there.
Yes, it's exactly similar to that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're watching online, let us know what is one family tradition you would like to carry on into the future. Okay. So let's just catch up on your story here. You're doing you've always been doing some Instagram. You started doing a little bit more in the pandemic. You get fired. You're going through this thing. You're overcoming it, and then you're getting more into doing it more seriously. Was there a point where you're like, okay, I'm going to just go all in on this, and this is what I want to do?
I would say 2 restaurants reached out at the same time, and they were actually willing to pay me to visit their restaurant, film content, and then post it. And at that point, I remember thinking like, oh, my goal at the time was just to get free food. That was my number one goal at the time. And then after I came out of surgery, I was finally fully healed. 2 restaurants reached out, and they were like, okay, we'll pay you to come visit our restaurant. And at that point, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not just getting free food now. I'm getting paid to do what I like, post videos, and then eat the food that I actually really like. And so I feel like that was my turning point into fully posting mainly food content.
What were the 2 restaurants?
One was ramen, and then one was sushi.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I see so many videos where, like, specifically I'll say Latina Foodie LA. She's like, oh, and I tried this. And I'm like, dude, that is a lot of food. Like, do they just give you stuff to showcase? Or, like, how does that look when you go there and they've invited you?
So there's different ways. They either bring out a set menu already that things that they want to advertise. And then there's also the other way which is mostly the way that we usually do it. They give us like $100 to order whatever we want, and then we can just film whatever we want on there.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. And every time I do go to these restaurants, I'll invite my family with me. So it's always a good time.
Oh, they must love that, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. Like, you're going into this, like, I just want free food, and now I get free food for the family like a few times a week now.
A few times a week?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course, because like you're getting all these dishes,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. So you'll eat at the restaurant for one day, and the next day you'll have to go, and then the next day you'll eat at a new restaurant. So it's a little pattern, but it's nice and fun.
And so let's talk about a little bit about the creative aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you go in there and you're like, I already know the shots, I know how I want to present it, or is it more fluid? Like, can you talk about the creative process?
I'll first look on Yelp to see what looks eye-catching, and then I'll ask the server what they want to. Is there a certain dish that they want to promote? And then the rest I'll order whatever we want, pretty much. And then the way I film shots, it's just there's a few different ways to do it, to film content and post. But I just film short clips of different movements in the food, so that people can see like how juicy something is, or how these noodles look while, and so you film those short clips and put it all together in a video.
What's the time from when the food hits the table to when you guys are actually eating?
Okay, so like I had said, I'm here for the food, right?
Yeah.
So I try not to film that long. It's, I know some people take like a longer time filming food. For me, the food hits the table, I film 2-3 shots, and then we eat it. I don't wait for the food to get cold. I like my food hot, and I like to experience it hot.
Yeah,
because that's what you're talking about too.
Sure, sure.
Fresh food.
And then
I'm impatient.
And are you taking shots like in the middle of the meal also?
Yes. So so my friends know this. My family knows this. The food hits the table. I film a few shots. I do a few shots eating it, and anyone can eat it after that. Yeah, we can just dig in right after. So it's a quick process for me, but I feel like it's taken that like a long time for me to perfect it.
Sure.
But now it's easy for us, and all our friends know now.
You can already sort of see the shots that you want to.
Right. And I don't take extra shots that I don't need anymore.
Oh, like just trying to capture everything.
Yeah, I used to, but storage on the phone is just absolutely crazy. I have 80,000 videos, so I need to like get exactly what I want.
Wait, you don't get rid of it after you post it?
So now I will, but not all the content, because I still like some shots that I take. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And how would you describe the style of food content? Like how does your personality show up in the finished product?
I would say through my voiceovers. I don't post with me talking to the camera, but I post with my voiceover. So you'll hear the personality go through on the voiceovers through the video. So
I'm a video editor, right? And so like I know how you're like looking at things, and right. So I'm trying to get that process from you. So you already know the kind of clips that you get. You get them. You go home. You're putting it all together, and do you do your final cut? And then you do the voiceover to it?
Mm-hmm. I do all the clips linked to the beat of the song that I want.
Oh, okay. So now that's another layer, right? So do you find the song that you want first, and then you put the clips to it, or you do the clips?
I do the clips first, and my clips are around like 1 to 2 seconds each, and then I find a song that goes with the type of restaurant, and then I'll edit the clips to the beat of the music.
And then you do your voiceover to it.
And then I'll do my voiceover over that.
Is all the songs that you have from Instagram itself?
They're from TikTok.
They're from TikTok.
I feel like TikTok has more variety, and they're also more on trend. So whatever you see on TikTok, you'll see on Instagram a little later.
So you upload. Are you editing in TikTok or another app?
I am actually editing in TikTok.
Does that perform better than a video you edit like on CapCut and then upload to TikTok? Because
actually CapCut and TikTok I believe are the same company. So the editing style is very similar.
So you edit and then you find the music and then you drop the volume on the music.
Right.
And then are you doing your voiceover also in TikTok?
Yes.
You are? Oh, man.
Everything's in TikTok.
Everything is in TikTok.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The quality is good. And then back in the day, you had to, when you loaded your video into TikTok, they would have a watermark. But nowadays, they changed it. So now once it's uploaded onto TikTok, you'll have that whole video saved into your camera roll. And then you can just repurpose that on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, et cetera, et cetera.
And are you doing that too?
I'm doing it. I repurpose it on Instagram, and I need to start on Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts because I feel like those are the upcoming.
What is the side-to-side comparison of a reel on TikTok, the exact same reel, and then on Instagram?
Completely different.
Completely different.
One will go viral on TikTok. The other one will flop on Instagram, and it'll be the opposite.
Really?
Always, yes, always like that.
You don't tweak the content at all?
No.
You just put it on both?
Mm-hmm. And I feel like nowadays it's harder to get a viral video on TikTok versus back in the day in the 2022s. So it's a lot more work. I'll know if a video will go viral based on the first clip of a food video. Obviously, not all restaurants have like cheese, for example, but cheese always does well. So if you do any type of cheese pull in the first clip, the audience is hooked immediately. Yeah.
What?
Or like slapping a tortilla onto a Korean barbecue grill. They're like, what is that? And then they'll watch the video. So there's certain things that I know work, but you can't do that with every single video. There was this one video, I dropped an egg, but I caught it with the bowl, and it was on accident, but that clip made it go viral multiple times.
Really?
Yeah. But I was talking about the restaurant the whole time.
So if I just do something like that, like wild,
it'll work.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I know, different tips and tricks.
Yeah. And what about like the cover? Do you care a lot about the cover for Instagram or for TikTok, or like how do you select that?
On TikTok, you're not allowed to pick a photo and then put it as a cover. You have to choose a slide that's in the video already.
Okay.
So TikTok, I don't really care too much for cover photos, but Instagram, I do care a lot more. I try to put my face out there so that restaurants will get to know who I am too, just because I am in the videos as well. And so I try to find a photo that has me and the food together versus the food alone.
From the video. So you're not creating a separate thumbnail from it. You just...
Oh, I am creating. I'll take a photo of myself and the food, or I'll have someone take a photo of me and the food.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
So that my face is on their page as well. When the audience goes there, they're like, oh, okay, that's Irene. I know her. I'll click on her photos. Because if it's a thumbnail of just food it's going to get lost. There's so much social media posts every day.
Who taught you how to edit video?
I did, as I was bedridden. So yeah, there was a time back when I had my diagnosis. I was in bed the whole time, and so I told myself, you're going to learn how to edit videos. And that's exactly how I started.
And was that on your phone?
On my phone, yeah.
You do all your editing on your phone?
Everything. That's why when I saw you earlier today, I was already working on my phone. I don't need a computer or anything. I can do this anywhere.
So talk about your process. Like, do you batch edit? Do you do like a whole day of editing? Do you do a little bit every day? What does that look like?
I'll do a little bit every day, and I'll try to post before noon so that I have the rest of the day off, or I'll have the rest of the day to visit another restaurant. So I'll either edit late at night or early mornings, and then post at noon, and then do the rest of the day, whatever I need to do.
And how many pieces of content are you posting every day?
I try to do at least one restaurant or a video every 1 to 2 days, I would say. I know that to go, I guess, not more viral, but more to get more popular, you have to be posting 2-3 videos a day.
2-3 videos a day?
Yeah, but I personally can't do that.
That's a lot.
It is.
And how much time on social media are you just like consuming or research, like, you know, as a user of social media?
I would say just a few hours every day, just to see what the trends are, restaurants that people are visiting, catching up on what restaurant is opening soon. Let's
go into the strategy side of like approaching a restaurant, right? So obviously like restaurants are reaching out to you also, right? So how do you know which restaurants to approach? Is it only the ones that you want, or do you see that they have some sort of social media? And is a restaurant who has already done a collaboration, is that like, oh, I want to stay away from that, or is that someone that you want to go to? Like, can you share some about that? I've actually been really lucky. A lot of restaurants have been reaching out to me. Even, I don't know who's passing out my name, but even like companies like Burger King, I've worked with them, Little Caesars, Sizzler, someone has my name. And so I've been lucky enough that I don't have to really search for a restaurant. Nowadays, if I really do want to try a new restaurant, I will. Or if, because I want to get into the travel industry more or the beauty industry, I'll reach out to those brands because I'm not familiar with that side of TikTok yet or Instagram yet. You haven't reached out to many restaurants then? No. Sizzler. Man, I used to love Sizzler. Yeah, they're coming back. Are they coming back? I think so. They're opening a new location in Downey. So I think, and the marketing team has been working really hard. So I think Sizzler will be coming back soon. Man, I think the last time I went to Sizzler was probably like in 2000. Yeah, same. And I walked there for lunch in Mid-Wilshire District, and I think I could get like a sirloin steak and the salad bar for like $9.99. Not anymore. It's not $9.99 anymore. But that's what I remember. And I was like, dude, where can I get a steak at lunch for under $10, right? And the salad bar is so good. Yeah. So they're coming back. Yeah. Do you know where Ukuk is on Rosemead? No. Have you heard of Ukuk? No, not yet. It's a all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue. Oh, okay. That used to be a Sizzler. That was like the closest one around here. But yeah, they're all gone. So where is the one that you went to? The one I went to was in Carson. I think they had sent me about like 8 different locations to choose from. Carson was the closest one. And then now, apparently, I think Downey's opening up a Sizzler as well. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Oh, so when they reach out to you, are they like, this is the shot I want, this is how I want you to do it? You have full creativity. Yep, correct. Really? Yeah. And what about the licensing? Like, they can use that forever? Do you have a time that they can use that content? I don't have anything specific for them, so for me, they can just use it. So they're lucky as of now, but maybe pretty soon I'll have something written up. I mean, the freedom to create as you wish is important, though. It is. Right? Because I wouldn't want to have someone tell me what to say, like a script or a specific way to shoot content. Then it's like, well, then you guys can find like your own team to do it, to do your own specific marketing. Yeah. But you want creators with their opinions and their styles so that it can be broadcasted with their audience. Have you ever gone to a place that they've invited you and you didn't like the food? Not completely. I guess I've been lucky again too, that
a lot of the restaurants are actually really good. If there are some dishes that I don't like, either it won't be in the shot or I won't talk about it in the video. I'll highlight exactly what is good. What I recommend.
Okay. So you haven't been to a place where like there is no like I'm not finishing this.
Thank goodness. I have had one with bad service. So I'll tell the marketing company like, hey, I'm letting you know this is my constructive criticism, but I'm still going to post the video because the food was good.
Interesting. Bad service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what's the service like in all these places? Like, are they respectful that you're there and you're doing your thing?
They know that you're coming in, so they just let you do your own thing. They don't bother you. They don't give me extra treatment. Nothing. It's just like I'm a regular customer.
What's your advice for someone who wants to get into this and they're like, oh, it's too hard or there's too many people doing it? You
just have to post consistently. It doesn't have to be the 2-3 days. 2-3 videos a day. I post one video every 1 to 2 days. Keep posting. Tell your friends to help support you, to post on their page if you really need help to start boosting your content. But I would say you need to work and you need to post it. That's the main thing. I think a lot of people need to get over that hurdle of like, oh, I have all this content, but I don't know what to do. And I would say just post it. You just have to do it.
Awesome. Well, Irene, we're going to get into the final segment of this show where we get to learn your 3 favorite places to eat in the San Gabriel Valley. Irene, this is the SGV 3, and we get to learn your 3 favorite places to eat in the San Gabriel Valley. So I'm excited for this.
Ooh, perfect. The first one would have to be Kim Tar Seafood. It's on Garvey. That's the restaurant that my family and I grew up. Every birthday, graduation, every celebration, we'll be there. It's good, solid Chinese, Cantonese food. The service is always good. They just renovated, so new chairs, new flooring. It's always been our family spot.
Kim Tar Seafood. What did you guys used to get there?
Mongolian beef, honey walnut shrimp, a lobster or a crab, depending on our mood. House special scallops, and then like a vegetable dish or 2. That's like our top 5. We just have to order that every time.
Really? Lobster or crab every time too?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a celebration. We have to.
Okay.
How special.
Yeah. That's delicious. And a staple of Monterey Park for many years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it still is.
Yeah. Awesome. And what's the second place?
The second place, Hot Pot. It's on Atlantic and Garvey as well. I feel like like I had said, we were always eating at Chinese restaurants, but we never really ventured out. And that was one of the first restaurants where like, okay, let's try a new spot. Hot Pot. It's like shabu, Chinese shabu. And my family loved it. And that was the beginning of us trying different foods, I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah, so now we go back there every now and then because it's just so good.
I've only been there once, and it's the first time I tried Chinese style, that kind of food. Actually, I remember I went there with my younger brother. Who's no longer with us. So I'm like, oh, okay, that was a good memory. Like he was a chef and he liked that place. So,
I'm glad.
yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And the third place?
The third one I just tried actually after my SGV event at Blossom Market. We were just walking down Pasadena and we were hungry after the event. We went to Fuji and V's. It's a Detroit style pizza. And it was so good. The wait was very long, and there was some angry customers because of the wait, but 100% worth it.
Fuji and V's?
Yeah.
Where is this?
I don't know the street, but it's in Pasadena.
The line is very long.
So we got there, and they said our pizza was going to be about half an hour. It ended up being a little longer. And then as we sat and waited, there was a line after us. So there was about like 7 people waiting for their pizzas. And obviously everyone's a little mad because the pizza's taking a long time. But good things come to those who wait.
Was it to go or you were dining in?
I was dining in. Everyone else was taking it to go. The restaurant only has like 3 tables to sit at. Yeah, so it's mostly takeout.
And what kind of pizza did you get?
Oh, it was called The Contradiction.
The Contradiction?
Yeah, it had barbecue chicken, bacon, jalapenos, pineapple, cilantro, and barbecue sauce.
Oh, wow.
So I think the combination of like pineapple and sausage and barbecue sauce is kind of funny for people. So they call it The Contradiction. I ate it the next day as well, and the crust was still like super crispy.
Wow. Was it thin crust?
No, thicker.
Thick crust, but still crispy.
Yes.
Wow.
Detroit style.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's my third one.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Irene, thank you so much for coming today. I really enjoyed learning more about you, and I'm glad that the listeners get to learn about you as well. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Irene Weenie on both platforms.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Another episode in the books for you. I'm always fascinated by the things that shape people, but that means that I'm always looking for the strengths, the passions of a person. Just like I shared today, like there's so much more to Irene than producing content online. Not just her resilience, but her ability to self-advocate. That is a very difficult thing in a society where we're told as children to be silent and be quiet, to continue to self-advocate for yourself. And then the other thing that I was impressed by was like her joy in finding the humor in a situation that can be very difficult. Though those are quite amazing characteristics. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to like and share. If you want to check out the full catalog of episodes, check out our website, mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Wormuth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind of mother.